Hello and welcome to the Secure Start podcast.
They are giving 2 million per care leaver. So it means the 1,000 care leavers to build a house or purchase a house. That I know that we are trying to do decrease the number of the children's child development centers in Sri Lanka, but I am pretty sure that it's not going to be happen. I don't want children to coming into child development centers, and I just want to strengthen family strengthening. Either it's a family, either it's a child development center, either it's adoption, or any other forms of like a post of kinship. Where is the best place for the children? Children should be there. The counselling and psychological support only for the children who are living in CDC, also for the matrons, also for the caregivers should be there. So I'm happy as a caregivers in Sri Lanka, we are really strong and we are reached to government's level, we are reached to in the the private sectors, NGOs and INGOs. So we are dealing with all of them. The children are the future of their country. So they should be care about that. The problems that what we have faced, it will be not happen to them very soon.
Hello and welcome to the Secure Start podcast. I'm Colby Pearce, and joining me for this episode is a leading care leaver voice in Sri Lanka. Before I introduce my guests, I'd just like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands that I come to you from, the Kaurna people of the Adelaide Plains, and acknowledge the continuing connection the living Kaurna people feel to land, waters, culture and community. I'd also like to pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. My guest this episode is Nimali Kumari. Affectionately known as Nimmu, Nimali is a care leaver from Sri Lanka who spent over a decade in institutional care. She holds a degree in journalism, advertising and mass communication from NIILM University in India, along with additional qualifications in criminal investigation, psychology and social sciences. She has worked as a still photographer and costume designer for the Indian film Dreams in 2013. Nimali has represented Sri Lanka as a speaker at numerous international conferences, including those focused on child protection and women's rights in Nepal in 2017, and the Bicon International Conference in India in 2018 and 21, in Nepal in 2023, and in Malaysia this past year. Recently, Nimali also spoke at the 35th FICE International Conference in Croatia in 2024. That same year, Nimali was honoured as a young changemaker by the UN Ambassador and Neon Media. She is an active member of the Global Care Leavers Committee and a member of Care Leaders Council. She represented South Asian care leavers in the UN Resolution Focus Group in 2019. She completed a justice-based approach foundation course at United Edge in the USA in 2021. Since 2021, Nimali has appeared on various TV programs discussing her life experiences and has become a social media influencer. Drawing on her lived experience, she is a passionate advocate for children's rights and alternative care. Nimali's work focuses on reuniting orphan children with their families and ensuring that they have access to education and employment opportunities. She worked for one of the largest NGOs, Savadaya, for 10 years and later for the Egyptian Embassy. Currently, she is employed at Their Future Together in both the UK and Sri Lanka. She is registered as an alternative family and foster care manager and leads the foster care program, ensuring that children grow up in safe, loving families. Inspired by her own 15 years in orphanages, Nimali co-founded the Asia First Care Leavers Network, Generation Never Give Up, in 2017. She also co-founded and currently works as director of Rise Together Care Leavers Leading Network. Recently, Nimali launched her autobiography, The Caged Girl, A Journey to Justice, which translates into Sinhala as Dumburu Pathak. Welcome, Nimali.
Thank you so much.
I think a few times in there I ran out of breath. So, such a long and impressive bio. I was very keen to present it all, but the longer they are, the greater the opportunity for me to get my tongue in the way and mispronounce things. So, fortunately, I can edit some of that out. So, Nimali, you did ask me, you did say to me that you prefer to be called Nimmu, and I'll have to remember that. Apologies if I do call you Nimali again through the podcast. But Nimmu, you are my first guest on the Secure Start podcast from Sri Lanka. I'm wondering if, in the first instance, if you could tell us a little bit about the out-of-home care system in Sri Lanka.
Okay, thank you so much, and I'm really happy to be here. So I will directly go into the answer. So what I really feel like the system aftercare of the children who are living out the children's home. So currently we have 356 children's homes in Sri Lanka. So more than 9,191 children are residents in there. So I was a child who I think before 20 years, I was a child in child development centers because we are calling child development centers, not the CCI, like a child care institution. We are calling as a
Mm,
CDC. So in our CDCs, there is a system like we after we turn out to 18, that's we have to leave. I think it's a globally things that's happening. But when it comes to Sri Lanka perspective, like for in our 12th grade 12th means it's a 13 years after study, we will reach out to 19, our age will be 19. So
mm,
the cdcs cci which you are expecting, like they are not asking us to leave if we are studying. They are not asking us to leave, and until 19 or 20, if we are studying, that we can stay there. So after care, like when we leave, sometimes it can be after 15 years, sometimes it can be after 18 years or 19 years, because the 15 years is the age that the Sri Lankan children who set for the first ordinary level examination.
mm,
Most of the children who get pass marks, they can sit for the another advanced level examination. Those who can't afford for get them higher marks for that education system, they must leave the CDC
mm,
because they are not most of the children are not getting the second chance to appear, second appear, which I got, but some institution they are not getting the chance to do. So it means
mm,
like most of the time the 15 years or 16 years or so the age that the children are leaving the childcare institution.
mm,
So when it's come to aftercare, so there is no actually when I was there, so there were no actually the proper system to go out and like not proper preparation for them, like a psychological support or financial training, or it can be like any vocational training. So it was not happen earlier, but currently which is happening, like it's already happening here currently. But the thing was that when I was there were no much awareness on that, how we should go outside and how we should deal with the people in the society, because we just depended when we were in the child development centers. So we are hoping that someone will take care of us after we go out of the care. So it was the earlier system that children you must leave after 18 or after 19 or after 15 once they have done completed their education. So it can be the way that government is supporting to the youth finding a job opportunities, or sometimes they used to get married, or sometimes they used to get like a vocational training, but where there are hostel facilities. The thing
mm,
is that I was really wonder since that, like, are they are really going for their interesting, because sometimes they would like to be become a fashionable designer, but there will be courses only there is having the hostel facility. It can be the nurse, so they have to take out their dreams out and they should go there. So it's something like that is happening. And the current time it's we will speak on later, so it's definitely changes. But the thing was that earlier it was like there were no proper system to go
Mm.
out, and that was the aftercare things that what happened in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, yeah. So you've got the perspective of when you were in care um, some years ago, and you're working in the care sector now. While you were speaking, I was just wondering, was there a mix of development centres and foster care or foster home, or were children in care primarily in those development centres?
Yeah, we have only this because we are not implementing foster care system now. It's still in Sri Lanka. So we
Mm.
have only child development centers, adoption. So as alternative, we have adoption and child development centers and the kinship care. So
Mm.
foster care is not still there, but currently it's like in the on the process.
In the process, yeah. And I nearly did the maths in my head and gave it up pretty quickly. But what would you say is the kind of average number of children who are in each development centre?
Most of the times, some child development centers they have 20 to 25.
Yep.
So we have separation, like for girls there is separation, one for boys there is separation. So from these 356 children's homes, there are 43 government-run child development centers. Others all are from the volunteer organization and NGOs.
Yeah. Yeah. And in the current system, what do you think works well in Sri Lanka, the current out-of-home care system?
Yeah, I'm so happy to share it that as you know that the children who are leaving the child development centers, they really need to place to stay. The housing issues, education support, and also the psychological support, the financial support. These are the things that really want for the aftercare as aftercare support. So
Mm.
what currently the Sri Lankan government has taken forward to include the care leave, we are calling as the care leavers. So include the care leavers into their budget, and they have been taken forward to support the care leavers. Like example, they are giving 2 million per care leaver. So it means the 1,000 care leavers to build
Mm.
a house or purchase a house or do like purchase a land or to rebuild their houses and all, damages house and all. So the government are paying 2 million rupees per care leaver. So the system it's going on like the selecting the care leavers and getting the information of the care leavers, that everything is currently is happen. And also they are supporting for the children who are living in CDC
Mm.
with the 5,000 Sri Lankan rupees, which goes direct to the child's accounts. So it will be 2,000 for child's account and 3,000 for their daily expenses and all. So this thing
Mm.
is currently happening, and also apart from that, the government is trying to implement other alternative care options, other than the children's going into the institutional care.
Mm. I hope I heard you right. But did you say that the government grant of 2 million rupees, is that sufficient to buy a house, or is it sufficient to um, put down a deposit to buy a house as such?
For me, like the children who like for the caregivers, they always try to uh, have in their own homes. It's something like to me also. I also want to have a kind of a home, my own house. So
Mm.
the caregivers are really happy on that. And but the thing is that will it that work properly, because there are system like there are criteria that selecting the caregivers
Oh.
like age 18 to 30, 18 to 40 years. But the thing was that I have heard like after 40 years, even 40 45 years, they don't have any place to stay and all. So they are asking for that, why we are not getting support and all. So I think that the equality is really not happening there.
So we had a little bit of a technical issue there, but I was interested in the generosity of the Sri Lankan government to offer those grants to care leavers that effectively give them an opportunity to have a home. And
Yeah.
I just wonder, Nimu, before we move on, what's it like for children growing up in the development centres there in Sri Lanka?
it's totally different when I was the child development centers, because it was almost 20 years back, the
Mm,
story, like more than 15 years. So the situation is really increasing with the positive way, to be honest, because the things and the most opportunities the children are getting in child development centers are getting increased. Like when we were in there, like there were no much proper awareness, so there were not a kind of a training or something, so it was not there much properly. But now there is having kind of a care plan for the children, and there are also a lot of opportunities, the fun activities, and there are a lot of picnics going on. So all the peoples used to get understand about the children who are living in CDCs. To be honest, that when we were there, so most of the time people used to talk about us like orphan girls, orphan childrens, and all.
mm,
But the word of orphan not using in Sri Lanka. Some people are using, but most of the people know that they are not the orphan. So
mm,
these things are also differently in Sri Lanka. And apart from that, the children living in CCI, everyone is attending the schools, and everyone is getting support for the education system. And those who
mm,
are not ready to take forward the formal education, most of them are getting the informal education within the center until the
mhm,
court get the until the court give the decision to go them out of the care, out
mm.
of the care. So these are the things that what's going on currently in the CDCs.
You said that the children don't identify or aren't identified as being orphans any longer. What do you think? How do you think that change is experienced by the children? How do they experience that?
Yeah, like with the when there have a lot of group of children, group of friends of mine, that sometimes if they call me as like my children's home's name, not with my name like Nimali or Nimmu, but they are calling as a child that who are with our name of our institutions.
Mm,
So that feels awkward and really painful. But at that time it was just a word. But when we grow up, we that trauma is triggering. Like we feel like, oh, they didn't talk about from my name, they just talk about with my institution name. So this is something really painful thing for the children who are living in
mm,
centers. And also uh, the most probably what I can see the difference is like the current situation in Sri Lanka, the most of the teachers in the schools are young.
mm,
So most young group, they're really close with the children. So that means they are getting much closer to the children who are living in the CCI, and there is no any like a discrimination between the children who are coming from the home and coming from
mm,
the CDCs. So because of this case, the children are living happily in the school. But in somehow there might be, and I know that there are a little bit of things is happening, incidents is going happening, that is still the children are getting that name as often sometimes,
mm,
because every children in the CDCs is not uh, well trying to get well education, because they are some most of the children, they don't like to get formal education. They want to go outside, and they want to earn money, and they
mm,
want to be in the independent life. So, and the thing is also, as I mentioned that earlier when I was there, it was actually the orphan children was there. Like there is no one to care, no
mm,
visitation, no one is there. But currently, 79% of children, they have the parents, at least a
mm,
single parent, at least a one mother or parent. So they want to go outside, not to be in the CDCs. And
mm,
they feel like they have the family, but then why I am in the CDC? So they are not trying to get their education, they just want to escape from CDC and go and join with the family.
mm,
So the main thing, I think that that's the things. And the taking of the positive or negative, the things that whatever the people are saying to the children in CDCs is depend on their mentality, like the children's
mm,
mentality. Like the children who are actually totally open, they understood that, yeah, yeah, that's totally fine, whatever they say, that's totally
mm,
fine, I'm okay, I'm okay. But the children who are coming to the system currently, they know that they have parents, and why I should be as like a bully as often. So
mm,
this is a generation gap also.
mm, mm. When I was listening to you, I just was thinking to myself, how strong that pull that pull is, or that tie is to family for the children growing up, and how much, regardless, I guess, of the circumstances that led to them coming into a children's development centre, in their heart they want to be back with family.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you think do the children feel safe and well cared for and loved in the development centres these days, would you say?
Uh-huh. This is something difficult question because I grew up in three child development centers. To reason for that, like in my first child development centers, I have been named as the radical character in the center. So with that case, sometimes I got rude behavior from the matron. But I know that because we used to meet the child development, various child development centers, friends together when it's a World Children's Day. So once a year, all the province children will be coming together, and so we used to share our experiences sometimes, like how we
Mm.
see your CDC, because we know that if we did something, so we will be transferred to the another child development center. So we should have keep connected with them. So we used to share our experience and all. So sometimes I heard that when it was my time, that I was heard that they have beaten sometimes. They used to do so much of work and they have to do sometimes they are using for their personal things and all. So there have a lot of things is going on. But when it comes to children get to know about their rights and they get to know about their uh, protection, they should what's their rights and all. So they used to
Mm.
fight it out. So
Mm.
it's become like some incidents has become the decrease in the incidents with the bad incidents. But currently there is a proper monitoring system. So, but still, I'm saying that still there are some child development centers. The children are getting badly treated, but
Mm.
mostly the most of the children's homes are going well and they're treated well because now they are hiring the matrons, not the matrons, the mothers. So
Mm.
means like the love of mother is the main thing to change the children's life in CDC. So I can definitely say there's a both the side. The negative thing is happening, positive thing also happening. So it's everywhere is that, but the thing is that how much it's effect to the children's mind.
Mm. I do want to ask you about that in a moment, but I just wanted to confirm it's my observation listening to you that there has been a lot of progress in terms of the experience of children who are cared for in the development centres, even over the last 15 years since you were there.
Yeah, that's definitely true. It's
Mm.
totally has been totally different. Like to be honest, like example, when I was in CCI, it was the time that I have to be appear in the court so many times per year, at least 2 to 3 times. Even I have to try go with the police officers and with the prison bus and all. But now it's already changed. Like they are is having the video recording room, so there will be only one time they asking for the evidence, and then there are officially they have a vehicle to travel. Take here and there with the children. So everything has been changed. That's really
Mm.
fine because uh, as a person that who grew up in there, that I definitely want to see everything is growing up, not the things
Yeah.
that should have same thing should not happen. What I was
Mm.
experienced.
What has driven that change, Nimu? What has kind of um, been some really influential factors in driving this improvement in development centres?
Yeah, to be honest, like as I mentioned that the experience what I have gained as a negative side, I'd never wanted to give it to the other my other generation. That I know that we are trying to do like decrease the number of the children's child development centers in Sri Lanka or
Mm.
in everywhere. I think everyone is thinking on that, but I am pretty sure that it's not going to be happen. Like
Mm.
at least
Some.
there will be less number of children's homes there definitely because we can't
Mm.
totally get destroy all the child development centers because there
Mm.
are a lot of children who really need support, those who need this kind of shelter because either we get negative positive parts, so there are things that the children can be get educated within the centers. So it should be those who can't really go for the kinship care or the adoption or to the foster care or anywhere, so there should be place to stay. So I think what I was influenced mostly to protect the children who come into the child development centers, because I don't want children to coming into child development centers, and I just want to strengthen the family strengthening, because
Yes.
everything is coming and everything is happening within the family. So if we can strengthen the families, so can do the awareness in the family. If we can support to the family, it can be the financial, it can be the economic, it can be the kind of a so there can be various situation, like most probably in Sri Lanka now divorce cases has been increased. So the effect on the divorce case going to the children, so both the parents are not okay to take the child on their custody, so they are going to the child development center. So I think these incident, this kind of topic that influenced me to go out and talk about these things. That
Yeah.
and as Asian country, you know that we are very close to the family members, like the parents and all. We culturally we are connected to each other. So the most touched part is that if we can touch the heart of the parents, that it can be uh, they can be together as a family. So what I am doing currently as a get influence on that, and I'm currently doing the things that I feel like this is the best thing, that doing the awareness and talking about my stories and sharing my stories, and then asking them not to send child into the child development center. Keep as much as you can with yourself.
Yeah. If I can summarize, advocacy by people like yourself has been a real driver for change. You've been advocating for maintaining family connection and strengthening families. The preference is not for children to go into development centres, but the reality is that there will always be children who need to be in a development centre. Yeah, there will always need to be development centres. So I guess the challenge is to advocate for the best possible care while the young people are there in those development centres. There will always be children in a residential care environment, and what we need to do is one, recognise that for some children that is the best place for them to be for a period of time, and two, ensure that they have the best care possible while they're there.
That's definitely true. I also feel like the either it's a family, either it's a child development center, either it's adoption or any other forms of like a foster of kinship. Where is the best place for the children? Children should be there.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the children's placement should not be determined by what the system can manage. It should be
Yeah.
determined by what is in the best interest of the child. And we need care
Yes.
options. The system, the out of home care system always needs options for children and young people. Another thing you mentioned in there was talking about leaving care and issues around psychological support. This is something actually that is very close to my heart at the moment, because I work primarily as a psychotherapist with children and young people, most of whom are in out of home care. And each year, some of them turn 18 and leave care. And so that support that they had, that was funded by the local child protection authorities for me to work with them, comes to an end. And we have to find other avenues to maintain that support, which aren't not always the same. So I think I was just wondering, you raised it in Sri Lanka. What would you say is the kind of the psychological support or psychosocial support that is on offer to children in care? And then what does happen to them when they do transition from care?
Yeah, this is something really very important thing, because the either there are 42 children in the child development centers. They're psychologically, they are mentally, they are totally different for each one to each other. So within this period of time when they are in CCI, CDCs, and they are getting counselor support. But the thing is that really on time? Because sometimes when they get aggressive, they used to call for the counselor, and that time they will be that time very comfort level to her. But after that, might be in the 2 to 3 months or 4 months, they come visit and again. So I don't know, is that the real best things to do the counseling for the children? Because every children is coming from the traumatic family. Most of the sometimes can be the domestic violence family, and also their aggressive behavior because of that case. So it's not should be the counseling and psychological support only for the children who are living in CDC, also for the matrons, also for the caregivers should be there. Other than I think if we only give the psychological support to the children who are living CDCs, it's not going to be work. So when it comes to the aftercare, leaving the care of the children, so if they are not prepared, like they mentally not prepared to go out, most of the children they are not prepared. Look at
No.
like when you are in the 15 years of your age, you are celebrating your birthday very happy, might be with very happy, but the children who are living in CDCs, when they comes to 15, they are just thinking that not their birthday, to where I will go after 3 years, where I will go after 1 year. So that's the starting point of their mentality going down. I feel like at the age of 15, there should be psychological support. There should be mentally prepared them already to go outside. And I think it's not wait until the 15 years of old, but the counselor or psychiatric or psychological support can give before the 15 years, and they can be start the preparation for the children to go out. So then they know that how to deal with the people, how to stay in their own feet, and they know how to deal with any kind of people and everything. So I have seen some organization in Sri Lanka, kind of a emerge or so there are little kind of organizations that they are giving support, especially the self defense as to the girls especially.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you know that when we go outside in this because when we were in CDCs, the children are not getting exposed to the outside society, especially for going on the bus, going into the market, going into the bank or anything. So without knowing anything, that when they go outside, so if someone is like jagging there in the bus, they got afraid, they are not raise their voice. But if they learn how to defend on that, so it will not make them uncomfortable. Because even that small thing also can be effect to their mentality. So I think before go out these all the children, there should be proper psychiatric support, psychiatric even the mentality make, especially to make their mentality uh, think that yes, I am now ready, I am okay to go outside. That's the different thing. Because most of the children who are going out of the care, they don't have proper birth certificate, they don't have proper identification, they don't have proper place to stay. So there are a lot of things that should be prepared and go outside. Otherwise they are going to be definitely again going to be the helpless children.
Yeah, so I guess what I'm hearing is that one important aspect of the out of home care sector that could be improved is the psychological support for the children, including supporting their psychological readiness to transition from the CDCs into independence. And I thought when you were mentioning it earlier that you said something about that reflected that when they leave, whatever support that was offered just comes to an end or diminishes in some way. Was I right in understanding that it's not only that you have to move on from home and you're moving on from formal education perhaps, but you're also moving on and you're moving on from the people that you've been living with, but you also move on from or move away from mental health supports that help with the preparation for independence. Is that right?
Yeah, to be honest, for me, when I got uh, failed in my first attempt of my examination, I was thinking that then now I have to go wherever that they are telling, but it was not happen. They are asking me to do the repeat examination, and then did it, and I get the pass. So I think the best decision that they have taken is giving me second chance. So it was a turning point. Then I was moving to the advanced level examination, and then I got the scholarship to study in India. So until this period, that I was in the same time I was appearing many times in the courts. So it was really damaging my mind, like thinking that no matter that how much I studied, that I have to be in the court, I have to repeat my cases, which I were it's really traumatic things. So I was not mentally totally recover. To be honest, when I writing my autobiography, it took more than 4 years to write down, because it was almost all the flashback is coming to my mind. So I wanted to get the psychological support for that while I'm writing the story. So you know that how much is hard to remind my childhood memories when I was in my home, my own biological family. So I think what I got uh, through the people that who are surrounding me, it's not 100% the caregivers, to be honest. It's the teachers most of the time, and also the people who are really supporting me and supporting to the children who are living in CC. That those supporters give me the strength to go out. So also I think my strength was especially getting through my flashback incidents. Whatever the bad things to happen to me, I have taken it as a positive points to go out. So I'm sharing like this my stories to each and every one. But the thing is that every girls who have this kind of strength, they can go out. But those who can't go out, those who can't get this kind of strength, who will looking after them? So it's better to be the voice for that those kind of voiceless children. So that's why I think that I'm kind of I feel like I'm kind of a candle to me. So I'm burning myself, but I'm supporting for others. That's something that I feel like about my. But that's totally fine, because uh, either I am psychologically not fully recovered, or mentally full not fully recovered. That if something's not happened to the child, same thing happened to me. That's really something I can be fresh and I can be happy. So it's make me heal when I see someone going into different way and they can find their life. So this is something that I feel I'm getting healed to myself.
Yeah, yeah. So that's lovely. What I'm hearing is that part of the healing process for you has been purpose, has been the purpose that you have in your life to advocate for and on behalf of other young people in care whose voice isn't often heard. And
Yeah.
when you see good outcomes that of that advocacy and that support, that really boosts your own well-being. Yeah, yeah. You you mentioned earlier that you think that not only should the children and young people receive support, but also the people who look after them, the teachers, the mums in the homes, and so on. Um, it's interesting when because over the last year I've spoken to people from around the world who are involved in um, the provision of residential care for children and young people. And one of the consistent themes is the need for therapeutic input or for input with the people who look after the children and who interact with them a lot. Now, some of that just is about support. It's also about
Yeah.
support for them, but it's also about helping them to have a better understanding of the young people in their care and of how to care for them in the most therapeutic way. Just wondering if that was what you were kind of suggesting or representing when you mention support not only for the children but also for the adults around them.
Yeah, that's true. Like for me, like I think like there should be children who also must be ready to take this support from outside people, because most of time some children, they're really afraid to open up, and they're really afraid to talk about with the outside people, especially
Mm, mm,
because children who are in the centers, they lost their trust with their own biological family members, so they are thinking of how to get how to believe other people. So I think the people who are going into the CDC and the people who are really wanted to support with the psychological support of the children, I think they should understand the mind of the children, and before they should
mm,
study the children's background, and then they can reach out them, because most of the children are not going to hear everything whatever the psychological support are given.
yeah,
So sometimes they might be they're interested on getting kind of activities, and they might be getting kind of a, I think, video recording or something. They like to have it's kind of a cartoon type. There are a lot of ways. So like example, like when I was even the 25 years, my one of my working place, they have me, they told that I want a psychiatric support, because I used to get angry all the time. So they just sent me into the psychiatric, and she was asked that I wonder that you are really young, then why you are getting angry, and also then I told that I'm the one who's really want to have this justice for the each and everyone. So when there is injustice, I used to get angry. So that's a
mm,
normal thing. But the psychiatric was asking me to get the treatment like tablets, taking tablets. So that's not the things that for me, like within the first day they ask, if they are asking for the take the tablets, that time also I'm getting angry. So I think it's better to understand, and having kind of a getting pre information about the children,
yeah.
that before they go it for the any psychological support. That's really important thing,
Mm.
I think.
Yeah, I think what you're part of what you're also saying, and which others have mentioned it before, is that um, you don't have to. Well, in fact, one of my previous guests, Megan Corcoran, said you don't have to be a therapist to provide a therapeutic experience for a child.
Most of the children, yeah, because most of the children who are living in the CDC, they are not 100% need of the psychological support. They really need the kindness, attention, and the love and care.
Yeah,
If you can
yeah,
give these four things, that definitely automatically they will be mentally healed.
yeah. Now, I know a great passion of yours is the care leavers like yourself. What's the current situation? You've mentioned the grants that they get to purchase land or purchase a house and kind of set themselves up. Um, what other support systems and organisations are in place for care leavers now in Sri Lanka?
Yeah, for the caregivers, like myself, from 2017, we started and co-founded this caregivers network or Generation Never Give Up. So we are, as the caregivers, we are supporting for the caregivers to finding out job opportunities, and we are giving the psychological support through and the legal support and higher education support and everything. We are just as a group we are supporting. So we have in the GNG network more than 500 caregivers already
Mm,
registered, and in the same time on 2025 I have been started and co-found another caregivers network, which is fully focused with the job opportunities, finding the job opportunities for
mm,
the caregivers. That's the main thing, and the trusted place and the hostel facilities and everything. So we are 15 children caregivers who came together and build up this network,
mm,
and we are on the way. We are just calling each and every companies, and we are getting their vacancies, and we are just giving to the probation department, and we are place the child into the job opportunities after 18 or 19. So these are the things that as a caregivers what we are doing. So apart from that, there are a few NGOs in Sri Lanka, few CSOs in Sri Lanka, that they are taking the care of the children. So like caregivers, they are giving the facilities for the caregivers to stay there until they get independent and all. So we also have a kind of a plan to build a transition home. It's kind of a home, not a hostel,
mm,
transition hostel, like to stay there until they get find out the best place to go. Like once they have started their career, they can pay to
mm,
their place where they are. and then we can spend that money to another child who coming into this coming out from the system. So we are planning kind of build up this transition home. So there will be facilitation for all the caregivers. That it's not kind of again institution, it's kind of a home for them. They can stay there, and they can go for the work, they can go for the university student studies and everything, and they can come back because now they can think that, oh, now there I have a place to come back. So they can come there, and while they are earning, they can pay for the light bills, the water bills, and electricity, everything they can pay by themselves. And in the same time, we are hoping to give them IT knowledge and the reading skill and life skill and the yoga therapy. This everything we are just having kind of in our mind, and now we are having also so the proposals, these items, and we are making the proposal, and we are trying to get raise the funds, and then we will start this process also for the caregivers. It's for the caregivers from caregivers. So this is also something what we're doing. So apart from that, yes, the government is now focusing on that, the caregivers, support for the caregivers especially. They are going to address about the documentation issues, because most of the caregivers, they have probable age certificate other than national birth certificate. So probable age certificate is, there is a lot of blank, they don't have any birthday, they have only the birth year, so which really affect to the mentality of the child after they leave. Also, most of the caregivers, they don't have identity, like they don't have vote to the like in the elections, because they don't have proper ID in their identity card where they have put the address, they don't have home to put in address. So these issues are also going to be addressed soon within the government system now. There is a discussion is ongoing. So I'm happy as a caregivers in Sri Lanka, we are really strong, and we are reached to government level, we are reached to in the like a private sectors, NGOs and INGOs. So we are dealing with all of them. So we expect that the children who are coming out of system in recently in the after 2010, yeah, I came as after 2010. So I think after 2010, when 2017, as we started this advocacy, I think it has changed a lot, and there are a lot to change. And also I feel like most of the caregivers really happy to support for each caregivers, each other caregivers, not the national level. So international level also we are raised this our advocacy work, and we are getting support from the people, and we seek continuous support, because there are a lot of children who lost their education, higher education, without the financial support. So as a caregivers, by myself, I used to have find so many donors and all, and I just give this child informations, and they used to get a point in the schools and sorry, education in the universities. So there are a lot of children who get support from me. It's not actually my money, because I'm not a kind of a person who rich with money, but I personally believe that I can support them with other people's around me. So there are a lot of children who are studying in the university with our support. So I'm proud of that, and also I'm proud that as a caregiver, so now there are a lot of caregivers come out, and they are speaking about their rights and whatever they want. So it started with actually from myself, that I have been speaking about my whole stories, or with through my autobiography, and also through social media and with the TV channels and everything. So people get to know about, most of the people, they don't know that the children who are living in CDC should leave after 18 years. So the question what I was asked, the interviewer, I was used to ask that, either you ever ask your child to go out when they turn out 18? If not, why the children who are living in CDC should go out? Because they don't have anyone to care. So if they go out also, there should be continuous support, at least until they stand by their own feet. Because the children's are like everyone is thinking that children's are the future of their country. So they should be care about that. I think it's happening now, and I think that there should be more, because we always think that more is more we need, no? So I think it should be happen more and more. And I believe that the children who are coming out of system, the problems that we have faced, it will be not happen to them very soon.
That's inspirational. And as you were talking, I was thinking about care leavers even here in my own local jurisdiction, and I do have some plans. I'm going to I'm not talking about them until after I'm a little bit further along, but let's just say I'm similarly concerned in my own jurisdiction about certain aspects of the ongoing care and support that get lost when they turn 18. And as you say, we don't normally expect children to be independent, whether they're in a Western country or an Asian country, like they're in Sri Lanka. We don't expect our children to be out standing on their own 2 feet independently. At 18, and especially when they've had troubles in their life, as they've grown up. So I tell you what, it sounds fantastic, and like you've achieved a lot. And I guess there would be listeners to this podcast who would be thinking, if only we could get Nimali to come and advocate in our country, or if only we could bottle up what she's been able to achieve, and kind of have that here in our country. So there are examples around the world where care leaver support is really good, but there's a lot of examples where it's not in so-called first world countries.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, that's true, because I used to meet so many countries caregivers, and we used to have a chat, and we used to have kind of a cafe, and we used to have a discussion about what's ongoing in their country, what's going on in our country. So it's can be Western or European or in the Asian. So we are coming together. So it's really something like, I feel like most of the caregivers in the whole of the country, all of the, like, globally, now they are getting really strength to come out and talk about. I think the attitude is getting really positive, because the change in the mind of the peoples, the attitude of the people, is a really difficult thing in every countries. So but I think that when coming, not coming as a one person, is coming as a group, it's really a lot of effect. So I think that as a global caregivers, I'm one of a member of global caregivers committee and national caregivers committee. So we always talking about these issues, and we are taking all this into the advocacy world. And now I feel like the topic is caregivers is going beyond than other topics. So it's really something really great thing, because now people know that what system is happening, what's not happening, and what should be done. So
Yeah.
this is really something really great that caregivers came out.
Yeah. And what is happening is that the voice of children and young people who previously didn't have a voice is being heard, and it really takes it takes people like you. I think you described yourself as something of a disruptor as you were growing up in the home that you were in. It takes someone like you, I think, who's got a bit of drive and a bit of strength, and even a bit of and passion for fairness, for the rights of young people, who uses their voice to create change and be a change maker. So
Yeah,
well
that's
done.
definitely true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also just want to say that those people who really wanted to see about what the system is doing and what's really happened and what's ongoing and how I became kind of an advocate, they can definitely read my book, autobiography. It's in Amazon also, so people can read it out, and then they can really understand more and more that, because there are a lot of things that what I didn't speak out, but everything is in my book.
Yeah. 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 All right. And that was a deliberate plan from me. I didn't want you to relive your whole history here on the podcast, but yeah. Thank you again, Nimu, for coming on. And I look forward to hearing more in the years ahead about the accomplishments that you have, and that your networks have in this space.
Thank you so much for inviting me. So, because at last I want to say that people like you that's taking this kind of topic in out, that's really make different for, without you knowing that you are making the so much of positive impact for the children who are living in the child development centers. Because if at least one single person who listen to your one, so they will understand that what's really going on. So that's the things that we don't want, like 1,000 or 2,000 people to get involved, but at least a single person to get involved and move forward. That's really important thing for us. So thank you for taking us, and thank you for giving that much honors for the caregivers to invite for your broadcast. It's really mean to us, and I will be the only one person who stand today, but there are a lot of caregivers who stand there by their own feet and living very happily their life. So I wish that all the caregivers will be definitely get healed from their traumatic life, and they will be definitely be happy and talk in front of mic or in front of a. Everyone is not should not talk in front of my by mic, but within their life they will be definitely be happy with the people's support like you. Thank you so much for inviting this podcast.
Thank you.